Gary Turner has a secret that's skin deep. How does this human Gumby turn himself inside out?
I often give them a quick stretch or two.
It's called the Body Farm for a good reason. It's a place where they harvest human remains. Wim Hof has a dangerous obsession. Now, the Iceman dares to go where no swimmer has gone before. This adorable Jack Russell Terrier lost his eyesight. Now see how his canine companion is giving him a new leash on life. And you're about to see a woman get struck by lightning. Terrifying encounter.
I knew something happened. I just didn't want to believe.
Unbelievable? Believe it. On Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Welcome to Ripley's. By now, there are few people on Earth who don't know about the tragic history of the Titanic. An estimated 1,500 people died, not just from drowning, but from freezing in the icy water. Well, for a man named Wim Hof, swimming in frigid conditions is not life-threatening, but life-affirming. Yoga master Wim Hof is about to do what no man has ever done before. Swim in freezing water under a 2-foot ceiling of ice for a distance of 164 feet. And he'll do it wearing only a pair of swimming trunks. Pushing his body beyond the limit is nothing new for this 41-year-old man from Holland. After all, he makes his living as a guide in Spain's Pyrenees Mountains, where he hones his skill as a free climber. Scaling sheer rock cliffs with no ropes, no gear, no safety net of any kind.
Life and death there in these exercises is very narrow. I mean, you make a little mistake and you fall from the rock.
It's just one of the many dangerous hobbies for this single father of 4.
I'm very happy, very proud as a dad, and I love my children. There's harmony in my family.
Hof is teaching his children that harmony can also be found in some pretty extreme places. That's not to say this dangerous obsession doesn't come with serious risks.
Twice I almost died in the snow. I wanted to sleep, just to go to sleep in the snow, and they had to wake me up and bring me to the hospital.
Despite those previous scares, Hof says he's ready to set an ice diving record. But first, in an amazing demonstration of how he can train his body to withstand freezing temperatures, Hof immerses himself in ice.
Going right on. Feel great. I feel okay right now.
Even after 40 minutes, Hof shows no sign of discomfort or numbness. Most people would suffer at the very least mild frostbite.
No pain sensation in my skin. I feel the cold, but I can withstand it.
It's crazy. Now it can be good for you.
I can do a lot more. You see, I feel good. I'm not shivering. I'm okay. Nothing happened. It's okay.
As amazing as this demonstration is, Hof has something much more dramatic in mind. Here in a remote part of northern Finland, he's about to go one-on-one with the ice.
Okay? Lights? Okay?
Crews spend hours preparing, drilling 2 holes through the ice, an entrance and an exit, 164 feet apart. Dr. Klaus Lundgren says because Hof has trained for this, he may be able to withstand the frigid water with controlled breathing. But the extreme conditions aren't the only dangers he faces.
First of all, if he gets disoriented under the ice, he could lose his way and simply drown.
That nearly happened during a practice run when Hof swam off course and got tangled in the guideline. Hof managed to free himself and make it out alive.
And the other thing is the risk of hypothermia, where the body temperature gets down so low that various functions go away in the body, heartbeat and so forth.
Hypothermia can easily send you into shock, and soon thereafter, kill you. Minutes before he takes the plunge, Hoff performs a ritual, a form of yoga called tumo, which means fire meditation. This intense concentration enables him to actually raise his internal body temperature.
I'm just fully aware. I'm there, well prepared physically, mentally, psychically. I'm there.
Two safety divers in thick neoprene wetsuits get into position, ready in case anything goes wrong. The water is a chilling 32 degrees, only 2 degrees warmer than the water which killed the 1,500 passengers on the Titanic. With these concerns in mind, Hoff is ready to attempt his record-breaking feat. The first thing he does when he enters the icy water is hyperventilate. This helps him rid his body of carbon dioxide, allowing him to hold his breath longer. After one final deep breath, he's off.
Stop! Stop!
The ice above him is more than a foot thick. If Hoff makes a mistake along the way, he's virtually trapped. As he swims, he follows a lighted cord which leads him to the finish line. "20 seconds into the swim, the blood begins to rush from his arms and legs. Hoff is now at the halfway point. It has taken him 40 seconds to get this far. A minute and 6 seconds after it all began, Hoff's head slices through the icy water at the finish line.
Good! Okay!
Hoff has done it, setting an ice diving record in the process. Before today, no one had ever swam that far under ice. It's been an incredible day for this remarkable man, who will soon set out to accomplish a new goal. He's going to climb 15,000 feet up Mount Everest, barefoot.
I'm filled with it mentally, physically, psychically, and living toward it is the actual goal. Makes you feeling something, a very deep depth of life. It makes you feel alive, a real alive.
The science of crime solving has changed the face of law enforcement. State-of-the-art forensics have made it more possible to track down the guilty and free the innocent. And in Tennessee, there's a very unusual training ground for this new generation of scientists. It's more like a garden of the dead, and it's called the Body Farm.
This man can breathe life into dead bodies. He confirmed that the remains of the Lindbergh baby were in fact those of the famous aviator's kidnapped son. Now he's passing on his craft using a field full of corpses. This 3-acre plot of land at the University of Tennessee is where faceless bodies are left to decompose. It could be mistaken for a crime scene, but this is actually a classroom. And what transpires here is cutting-edge research by forensic anthropologist Dr. William Bass.
What we're trying to do is to reconstruct the length of time and the amount of decay of a body in various ecological and environmental circumstances.
Most people are repulsed by Dr. Bass's program, but Dr. Richard Jantz, head of the university's anthropology department, says the class is hugely popular.
There is a certain macabre appeal to this. It's death, it's people are just naturally curious about, and they rarely get a chance to see it in this context.
Jennifer Love is a real-life Nancy Drew working toward her PhD. She's intrigued by the class because she gets to study the actual bones of a dead body.
We're trying to refine methods that are already out there and just make them more applicable, plus make them more accurate.
In 1971, when Dr. Bass first came to Tennessee, police asked him to help identify badly decomposed bodies or, in some cases, determine a person's identity simply from a pile of bones. Being able to do that would not only help law enforcement, it would also bring closure to families wondering what had happened to missing loved ones.
I was setting out to find out something that I didn't know. What happens to a body when it decays and how long does it take?
And that's when Dr. Bass came up with the idea for the Body Farm. It's the only facility of its kind. More than half the world's experts in forensic anthropology have studied here under the guidance of Dr. Bass.
When we work on a case, we're so focused on what we're doing, on identifying this person, using the scientific methods that have been developed, and determining who this individual is, as well as the time since they've been dead.
The bodies come from 3 different sources.
We get unclaimed bodies that come through the medical examiner system in Tennessee. You can donate your body, and we have will bodies.
The corpses are placed in various real-life scenarios. The odor of death hangs thick in the air. The smell comes from the trunk of a car and under tarps where partially decomposed bodies lie in the dirt covered by leaves and exposed to the elements. Anything to simulate a crime scene. Dr. Bass and his students often consult with police on real cases.
When we have a successful positive identification, plus able to successfully build the circumstances surrounding death, it's very rewarding.
More than 200 bodies have decomposed on the Body Farm since it was started nearly 30 years ago. But the project doesn't end here. The bones are eventually boxed up and sent to the university's anthropology department.
Why, when you die, should you stop helping people? You could donate your skeleton, and for many, many years, you're going to have upcoming generations being able to use the skeletal remains to learn more things about what happens to us when we go through life.
I have a great respect for these people because they've donated their body to science. I intend to donate my body to science, and so I think that takes an understanding of what they can then give to the community after death, and it's really outstanding.
Amazing stories and unbelievable people. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
This is perhaps the world's most uncomfortable chair. Created as a torture device during the Spanish Inquisition, you can see why. Note the spikes. And the inventors came up with another little twist. They'd attach weights to the victim's legs in order to make sure that they really sat in one place. Well, let's see if you can stop from squirming when you see this next story. This place is literally crawling with rats. Thousands of them scampering around, and no one can kick the little creatures out.
I am petrified by rats.
Frightened or not, these people aren't running from the vermin. They're praying to them.
I find it amazing that they're worshiping the rat.
But worshippers are in search of something even more spiritual. They travel here from around the world hoping to see, or better yet, touch, one of the 4 white rats that live here.
It's very auspicious if you could see a white rat. That's what we believe.
Welcome to the Bhagwati Karniji Temple in Rajasthan, India.
It's just a different form of worshipping something else. We all worship different objects all around the world, and the rat should be just as important an object as anything else.
In this ancient Hindu shrine, rats are considered sacred. They're believed to be the incarnated descendants of a Hindu deity.
Human beings who die are reincarnated as rats, and rats who died are reincarnated as human beings.
600 years ago, the goddess Karniji and her 4 sons worshipped in this marble sanctuary, which was free of rats at the time. Her sons would take turns taking care of the shrine for 30 days at a time. Even today, her male descendants continue the tradition. They serve as priests and must spend a month tending to their reincarnated relatives called kabas, the children of the goddess.
Imagine 30 nights of sleeping with rats. Incidents of rats biting their extremities are not unknown.
The rats never have to forage for food. Instead, they're fed a steady diet of sweets, grain, and milk by their followers. And some visitors to the temple actually eat the rats' food, convinced it will bring them good fortune. But it's the divine white rats that are believed to be the incarnations of the goddess's 4 sons. Devotees say that if you touch one of these sacred kabas, you're blessed for life. Amazingly, this vermin-infested shrine has reportedly never been hit by any rat-related illnesses.
The run-of-the-mill rats that you'd see at home usually are smelly and dirty. The ones over here apparently are much cleaner.
In fact, visitors are more worried about hurting the rats rather than the other way around. Blessed with such a secure life, the rats within the Bhagwati Karniji temple apparently never want to leave.
The rats within the temple don't go out, and the rats outside the temple don't come in.
After a day at the temple, even the most petrified visitors walk away with a new respect for the rodents.
Right there and I'm not moving, so it's like changed my attitude really.
Ripley's world of unbelievable animals. Little Ben is totally blind, the victim of animal abuse. The Essex, England shelter that rescued him was afraid he'd have to be put to sleep. But Jack Russell Terriers stick together, and another Jack Russell named Bill took it upon himself to help poor little Ben.
It was incredible how Ben just hung onto his back of his neck and Bill was leading him all over the kennels and even guiding him to his food bowl and water.
Thanks to Bill, Ben got a second chance at life. The only thing he would need to survive was his little buddy. The dogs would have to be adopted as a pair.
You could never ever split them, never. He's really attached to him, like brothers.
When local news broadcast the story of a canine with his own seeing eye dog, the shelter received over 5,000 phone calls and 300 faxes from families wanting to adopt them. Soon they were given to a Brighton woman with a beautiful home and a big backyard. And they even have a girlfriend named Rosie.
One man has made over 2,000 tiny ceramic sheep, and as I speak, they are being hidden at famous landmarks around the world. From the top of the St. Louis Arch to the 3rd tier of the Eiffel Tower. The stage is now set for an unbelievable game of hide and sheep.
Where would you go to find a flock of 2,000 sheep? The Highlands of Scotland? The outback of Australia? Would you believe? San Francisco. The city by the bay is home to this man, artist James Hartman. And these 1-inch plastic sheep, which he's been making at a furious pace, are now mysteriously turning up at some of the most famous vacation spots in the world.
Well, we have sheep placed in over 40 countries, including islands like Tahiti and Fiji, and the sheep are on every continent on the globe, believe it or not.
Hartman is primarily a painter, but a few years ago, while helping his mother sort out her attic, he found a small hand-painted sheep. He was so impressed by its craftsmanship and detail, he made a rubber mold and duplicated the original. His family all wanted one too, and before he knew it, he'd cloned an entire flock and hasn't stopped since.
It's been really fun to have something that just took on its own life.
The Hartmans became so attached to the sheep, they started bringing them on family trips and taking pictures of them. Before long, the sheep were heading off in all directions.
It was like 6 degrees of separation. Suddenly, our little group of friends knew people that were going all over the world, to Vietnam, Cuba, Croatia, all these places that we knew we would never go, but our sheep could go there, so that was nice.
But unlike the tourists, the sheep never come home. They're left behind in secret places.
I definitely used to look out in Versailles.
I think the challenge is just to hide.
From way up high,
in the top of the St. Louis Arch,
to way down low,
the bottom of one of the canals in Amsterdam.
From the natural beauty of Mount Shasta in Northern California,
I dropped the little guy down into the hole that I created with the ice axe, and then sealed it up tight so it wouldn't blow away.
To the windmills of Holland, to the man-made splendor of the Taj Mahal.
Another traveler had just brought one of our sheep to him 2.5 seconds beforehand.
700 of these little creatures have been secretly tucked away at some of the most closely guarded sites in the world. So next time you're in Paris, for example, and you ride the elevator to the top of the Eiffel Tower, take a close look at the steel bolts around you. You're likely to find one of these hiding out. And if James Hartman has his way,
we'd like to get a sheep on the moon. We think it's more of a possibility to get a sheep in the space shuttle. I could see that could be a possibility. But the moon, that's something to really strive for.
Next time you're in our nation's capital, look closely at the Lincoln Memorial. One of these little sheep is sitting in Honest Abe's lap. There's no business like show business, and some acts are hard to follow. Or in the case of Amy Saunders, hard to swallow. Take a look.
Amy Saunders may look like just another groovy girl on the streets of Soho. But believe it or not, this young woman is able to swallow an entire chair leg.
The diameter of my throat has been stretched up because of all the swallowing I've done.
She's a wild child from London who sometimes likes to be a little extreme.
I don't know why I like pushing the boundaries. I just do.
When she found out she could swallow almost anything without hurting herself, she decided to see how far she could take her newfound talent.
I'd read a book about a fictional book about a sword swallower, and I didn't have any swords, so I kind of just made do with what it was about, and it all kind of just grew from there.
Dr. Paul O'Flynn took this x-ray of Amy with a sword down her throat, and he says her ability to do this is based on the way she can mentally override a natural reflex.
Her anatomy is exactly the same as everyone else's. What's different is that she's able to control the reflex which would normally be present to prevent you from swallowing a foreign body, a sword being an excellent example of that.
In spite of the fact that she could slice her esophagus or sever major blood vessels, Amy has continued to swallow more and more bizarre items. And the ultimate expression of her gift for not gagging is swallowing the leg of a chair.
First time I swallowed a leg of a chair, it just felt different because it's a different shape. It's circular, so that was quite bizarre.
Swallowing a chair is much tougher than merely swallowing a razor-sharp sword, both because of its shape and its weight.
It's a lot heavier because you've got a chair, and because it's spherical, it's actually quite difficult to slot it into your throat.
It's a dangerous move no one watching should ever attempt. Take a close look at the chair. It's impossible for Amy to keep it still while she holds it in the air. If she makes even the slightest mistake and loses her balance, the leg could break from the chair and lodge itself in her esophagus.
Where I prepare most is when whatever I'm swallowing is above me and I'm just about to put it down my throat. That is when I'm completely and utterly focused, concentrating on what I'm doing.
It seems that no matter what Amy Saunders swallows, the only ones who are gagging are the people who are watching.
They call her the human Rolodex, which pretty much explains itself.
Okay, 4B74, 5B32, 8B89.
She can recall the numbers off a line of taxi cabs.
Yes! All cabs.
Suffice to say, if Tatiana Cooley ever leaves her belongings in the back seat, she'll remember exactly which cab she was in. She may look like any other fun-loving New Yorker, but this 28-year-old has an unbelievable memory.
We use so little of our brain at any one given time, and I think if you're forced to use it more by holding more information than really you're expected to, it makes you that much more capable.
Although she can recall practically anything, her job at a boutique advertising firm emphasizes creativity.
I'm sure that my memory would help in like accounting or finance or investment banking. The problem is I find all of that stuff incredibly dry and boring.
Her talent does come in handy, however, in her daily life. To illustrate, we gave Tatiana just 1 minute to memorize a detailed list of 25 grocery items.
Okay, let's shop.
Then we set her loose in the aisles of this market to see if she could remember them all.
Artichoke hearts.
And each item was unusually specific.
So foodie, very good for you.
And some she'd never even heard of.
So now we need to go find cold ease lozenges.
After over 30 minutes behind a shopping cart,
Found it.
Tatiana has almost aced the exam. But there's just one thing she's forgotten.
Rice cakes. They're the sesame rice cakes too, aren't they?
Tatiana began developing her memory early on. As a child, the TV was rarely turned on in her home. So the family played memory games like concentration instead.
I know things like, you know, the capital of some foreign country that nobody's ever heard of, but, you know, I can't tell you, you know, all the children's names from the Brady Bunch, you know.
But she didn't realize just how advanced those abilities had become until 1998, when she entered and won the Super Bowl of mental competition known as the Memoriad.
I read about it on Friday and I walked in on Saturday, thinking to myself, you know, let me see how I compare against other people who have been preparing and so forth. And so I didn't think for 1 second that I would win it. Not for 1 second.
She went back the following year and won again. Today, she's out to grab her 3rd consecutive title.
It's 8:30 now, and the competition's supposed to start in a half hour. Getting a little nervous.
If you are ready, start now.
The first event asks the 19 contestants to commit 99 unfamiliar names and faces to memory. Then, they're just shown the faces and they have to put the names in. Next, there are 20 columns of random words. She has to memorize and then recall as many as possible. Then it's number recall, confronting a staggering 2,000 digits.
Sprint events make me crazy. Just get everything down before I have another brain bubble.
Next, it's on to poetry. The object is to memorize 100 lines of unpublished verse, and it's not just the words you have to remember.
They want the commas, they want the semicolons, they want the capitalization. It's pretty intense.
Tatiana waits anxiously as the final point totals are counted up. Then, finally, the winner is announced.
For the 3rd year in a row.
There's no cash prize, but Tatiana does get a free plane ticket to London to compete in the World Memory Championships. In the meantime, we decided to put her to the test on the streets of Times Square. Let's see how she does putting faces with names when the people are real.
Do I have to do last names too?
Yeah.
God, you guys. Okay, Suzanne Vansky. Irene Weiss. What's your name? Mario Odine O'Malley. Dante Anthony. Shannon Murphy. Kevin Kelly. Oh, that's easy. We ready?
We are ready.
Okay. Suzanne Vansky, Irene Weiss, Sarah Horn, Mario Godine, Bryn O'Malley, Dante Antonini, Shannon Murphy, Kevin Kelly, Yuri Jung, Beth Williamson, Mike Sweeney, Michael Sweeney, Margaret Sweeney. Yes!
On the street or in competition, Tatiana has earned her nickname of the Memory Queen. She says the secret to her success is pretty simple.
I think that there has to be some sort of little, you know, brain thing that's tweaked in my head a little bit.
Still ahead, a home video turns into a miracle caught on camera. And the riveting story of the fantastic Elastic Man. Welcome back to Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Lucky Charms are more than a breakfast cereal. They occasionally really do work, not only bringing good luck, but sometimes saving your life.
When this teenage girl was struck by 2 bolts of lightning, doctors say she survived because her belly button ring diverted the huge electric charges from reaching her heart. And when violent lightning struck this teenager, it was his lucky hat that took the brunt of the force. But the only thing between Tracy McCoy and a deadly bolt of lightning was her camcorder, which captured every terrifying second.
I remember tingling going through all my body, and I remember my feet burning.
Lightning. It strikes 300 to 400 people in North America every year. One strike can carry up to 1 billion volts, and its average temperature is 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 4 times hotter than the surface of the sun. Amazingly, Tracy McCoy not only survived being struck by lightning, she managed to capture that lightning in an electronic bottle home video.
When you start thinking about it and thinking how close you've come to, dying and stuff, it's scary.
Tracy experienced the awesome power of Mother Nature early one morning in Ladysmith, Canada, when a noise woke her up around 5 a.m.
I heard car alarms going off and lights flashing from the lightning and huge crashes. It sounded like a building coming down.
One of the biggest thunderstorms to ever hit British Columbia was raging outside. Tracy grabbed her camcorder and headed out onto the back porch to tape the spectacular show.
Really hailing now. It's unbelievable.
She was panning back and forth, trying to catch the bright flashes, when one of the 6,000 lightning bolts that struck that night hit her porch.
And then all of a sudden, I just remember feeling like electricity going through my body.
When the tape is slowed down, it's easier to determine exactly what happened. A massive forked thunderbolt strikes. Tracy screams, and the camera goes to static. Tracy says she felt electricity coursing through her body for about 30 seconds.
When I got into the house and I was scared, my whole body was just a huge adrenaline rush. I was just like bzzz all over.
Yet somehow Tracy survived. Later that day, the shaken mother of 2 noticed burn marks on the bottom of her left foot and a small wound just above her knee. And over the next several days, she had headaches, trouble sleeping, and tingling throughout her body. And there was another, more enduring legacy.
It wakes you up, makes you realize that you have to do things now and not wait, put them off, and to appreciate the things you have and the people that are around you. I will never forget that day. Never.
Everybody's got something that really scares them. Flying, heights, snakes, something. But when fear goes too far, it becomes a phobia. And when a phobia goes too far, well, then you've got this next story.
Londoner Louise Lines is a good driver except for one little thing. She's afraid to make a right-hand turn.
Well, when I'm in the car, basically I can't turn right. I just panic in the road and I can't do it.
That means everywhere she drives, Louise turns left, and then left, and left again. Feeling a little dizzy? Just imagine how her husband, Tony, feels.
I mean, going to the local shops, for example, would take me or anyone else driving about 10 minutes. For Louise, at least half an hour, if not more than that.
Psychiatrists call this type of fear a simple phobia. But for Louise, there's nothing simple about it. Her fear is the result of a car accident 10 years ago.
I was driving, a car hit me on my side. She was in the front passenger seat, and she was really badly shaken up by that.
Louise's complicated driving habits are so time-consuming, even her daughters, Haley and Alice, won't let her drive them to school.
We would rather go on the bus than Mummy drive us.
Like every journey she takes, Louise begins by meticulously mapping out a course of left turns. This part alone can take up to an hour.
It's really difficult because I've got to go from here, I've got to go all the way up to here. It's going to take me ages.
Whether it's a trip to the supermarket, the post office, or a visit to her mother's, she turns what should be a 10-minute trip into 50 minutes. And that's if she doesn't miss a turn.
Now I'm going to have to go all the way around the block because I can't do this right. This is really stupid.
When Louise finally arrives at her destination, she breathes a big sigh of relief.
Next.
Can you do this?
He can stretch and pull his skin like taffy. The inspirational tale behind this real-life rubber man when Ripley's Believe It or Not returns. You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not.
It's called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a sometimes fatal skin disease, and you can't tell someone has it just by looking at them unless, like one afflicted man, he's pleased to show how comfortable he is in his own skin. To find out what makes Gary Turner so unusual, you've got to go beneath the surface and into his very flesh, which has been altered by a bizarre medical condition.
My syndrome is very, very rare. It affects about 1 in 594 million people. So there's probably about 10 in the world.
But Gary looks perfectly ordinary, and it took a while before he realized how different he truly was.
When I was about 7 or 8 years old, I was just clowning around at school, and I asked a school friend, "Can you do this?" And obviously thought something was strange there, and that's where I developed my name, Stretch.
Gary Turner is a sheep herder who works on his dad's farm outside London, England.
Hey, come on then.
He suffers from an extremely rare genetic disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. As Dr. Lisa Bennest explains, victims of this disease have a problem with their collagen, the glue which holds the body together.
So normally, there's a wickerwork of woven fibers in our second layer of skin, preventing it from pulling apart. With EDS, there's a defect. It does not allow it to bundle together properly, and so when he pulls it, the skin just stretches apart.
It was first written about in the mid-1600s. Now doctors have found several kinds of EDS. The most severe types can cause curvature of the spine, weakened arteries, and problems with blood clotting.
In the rarer cases of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, often the victims are often dwarfed, and the teeth fall out by the time they're 20 years old, if they can live for 20 years.
There are some complications that can occur as a result of EDS that can result in death.
Fortunately, doctors say in Gary's case, the skin condition isn't fatal. He doesn't even feel any pain from it, and he lives a mostly normal life. But the disease does leave its mark on his body. For one thing, his bruises are 6 times larger than normal. He's also prone to severe scarring and easily dislocated joints. As a kid, he wasn't even allowed to play contact sports like soccer. And even now, he has to be careful because his skin doesn't just stretch, it can tear like tissue paper.
I obtained this scar about 6 months ago, just basically fooling around in the pub. Somebody picked me up by the arm here, and the skin went up my arm, and eventually it split, and all the skin came straight down my arm, virtually up to my wrist. That definitely wouldn't have happened with a normal person. The skin would have been strong enough to take the weight of somebody else.
When Gary tugs on his own skin, he knows his limits. And the more he stretches it, the more elastic it becomes. Having skin like this may be eye-catching, but it is not a great way to get a date. Gary was a regular at the aptly named Hope Tavern, where he met his current girlfriend, Jane. The two are inseparable now, but it was hardly love at first sight.
When I first met Gary, I never imagined there was anything unusual about him. I thought he was called Stretch because he's 6'2". I first found out Gary could stretch his skin when I was serving him a pint. And I was just taking his money, and he said, "Do you know why they call me Stretch?" And I said, "Well, no, not really." And he pulled his neck.
Stretch seems to have found the formula to live with his bizarre disease and throws in a little comic relief for good measure.
Yes, I have used my skin disorder to gain a few laughs. For example, I was out in the car. I often do this, actually, when there's children in the back seat of the car in front. I often give them a quick stretch or two. And when the parents are in the front and the children tell the parents, I just carry on driving quite normally, The parents wonder what on earth the kids are shouting about.
I don't think Gary would be Gary without his stretchy skin. It's part of his personality. And I think in a lot of ways it gives him a lot of confidence because people laugh along with it or they, you know, scream along with it.
There's currently no cure for Gary's disease, but he's learned to make the best of it. And he works out in his own inimitable style to stay as healthy as possible.
And if there was any treatment at all, I don't think I'd be sure to undertake it. If I had the chance to change the way my skin is, no, I don't think I'd ever want to change it. I'm quite happy being who I am.
Next, statues so powerful they had to be removed from Ripley's headquarters. Find out why you should think twice before touching them when we return.
These statues used to be at the Ripley's headquarters, but they got some people into trouble. So they were moved here to the warehouse. What kind of trouble? Well, it seems that 13 different employees or friends of employees robbed them. But what they didn't know was that these statues, carved by a tribe from Africa's Ivory Coast, were fertility statues. And they work really well. All 13 women got pregnant. And since then, over 500 other women claim that these statues have worked for them as well. Unbelievable? Believe it.